Oh, he seems to be saying that Putin orchestrated the gas attacks so that Trump could come in and hit the Syrians so he would look good, and Putin would therefore support his pal, Donald Trump. I found that, frankly, laughable. Let's see what Howard Kurtz thinks. He's the media buzz host. Is he laughing? No, he's smiling. He's not laughing. Okay. What on earth is going on here? That is the wildest of conspiracy theories I've ever heard, and it's on MSNBC?
I liked Lawrence O'Donnell a lot better when he was writing fiction for the West Wing rather than the fiction he's peddling now about Donald Trump. And on this one, I mean, it is so convoluted. And he's not even saying that allegedly, purportedly, maybe, perhaps this is true. He's saying it's impossible to rule it out, and maybe Putin did this. Of course, remember the airbase that was bombed by U.S. forces. The Russians had to evacuate to avoid getting killed. So this seems like a really wild one, even by O'Donnell standards.
Can MSNBC, with stuff like that on its air, claim to be a reputable news organization?
Well, it's an opinion show, but the more, and I'm sure, you know, that some of people who watch that show say, yeah, right, it was Putin. But, you know, O'Donnell, former top Senate aide, is a smart guy. Donald Trump has made him increasingly go almost over the edge. A couple of weeks ago, he suggested the 25th Amendment should be invoked because Trump didn't have the capacity to serve as president. This is really wild stuff. It's not really contributing to the debate. Maybe it's drawing some applause on the left, but it's pretty wild, as you say.
Wow. Yes, sir. Now, I was reading the New York Times over the weekend, and there's an article by Nicholas Kristof. He's done an interview with Hillary Clinton. In this article that appeared in the Sunday Times yesterday, he's talking about how Mrs. Clinton wants to be a champion for women. But nowhere in the article, it's a lengthy article, nowhere is Hillary Clinton's treatment of Bill Clinton's women mentioned. Nowhere are Bill Clinton's women mentioned. And I'm wondering what you, as the media buzz host, what do you make of the New York Times? You're smiling. What do you make of the New York Times running a piece like this without even mentioning Bill's women?
Well, look, Nick Kristof is a liberal columnist. That's why he was picked to do this interview. What really jumped out at me in this interview was the way in which Hillary Clinton seemed to blame just about everyone else for her election defeat. She talked about misogyny. There may have been some of that. She talked about the Russian hacking. That obviously had some impact, but I didn't see her sort of saying maybe her message for working-class Americans had fallen short, nor did I see her really, other than trying to position herself, as you say, as a champion of women, talking about where the Democratic Party should go from here, how it should rebuild. It seemed more looking back and a bit of hand-wringing than looking forward ahead for what is now clearly the minority party in the United States.
Do you think that at some point in the relatively near future we'll see a switch on the part of the establishment, the mainstream media, away from its utter contempt for Donald Trump?
Well, we certainly saw a temporary reprieve, you might say, because with the Syrian airstrikes, even many of the fiercest liberal critics of this president praised Donald Trump for taking decisive military action. But do I think that's going to change the landscape? If he racks up some legislative victories, I suppose that he might be treated with a little more respect. But basically, there's a lot of hostility between the two camps. It goes both ways, and I'm not expecting a unilateral surrender on either side.
All right. Howard, thanks very much for joining us, as always. So see you again real soon.